Welcome to another episode of EETV, where I strive to bring you everything in entertainment, and we'll be taking a closer look at episode 1 and 2 of Hell's Paradise. Now, we will be focusing solely on the two main characters, Sagiri and Gabimaru. Now, we're going to focus on just what the anime has showed us so far about these two main characters. But we'll start off with Sagiri. Now, we see that Sagiri is analytical when she was interviewing Gabimaru and patiently able to collect information that she needed from him in order to see if he was a good candidate for the mission. We also see that she's a master of reading body language, speech patterns, because she could see that Gabimaru was lying about how he felt about his wife. And she also could tell in their brief battle at the end of episode 1 that he wanted to live just how she was positioning herself. Also, we already know this, that she's an excellent interviewer. She has the ability to see an individual's true self, which us the viewer can see through reflection of her katana. She's very intelligent. She also has a great amount of speed, reflexes, and fighting intuition. Now, we know this because the battle at the end of episode 1, you can see that she was able to keep up with Gabimaru without any problems, and she wasn't even close to receiving a blow or an attack. She was able to parry all of Gabimaru's moves without a problem, and she is shown to have been quick thinking. When Gabimaru was about to come in with another strike, she immediately showed the pardon if he completes the mission, and she was able to think of that in the heat of battle, even though she took a break. So we can see here that Sagiri is cool and she's calculating, and she goes about trying to complete her mission and putting her family name first. Where she is flawed in, which she is, you can see already that she's growing, is that she hasn't perfected her sword strokes that she wants to emulate, that she's seen of her father's when she was little, of no emotion and being able to have the spirit of the deceased pass on with no regrets. She has not perfected that yet. She still has her emotion within her strikes, and that brings the deceased unease during this. So she is self-aware of what's going on, and she's also spiritually in tune what's around her. Her being able to sense this, even, and also sense it to the point that she can see the person's spirit envisioned in her mind after the execution is complete. Like we saw in episode 1, how she was shown when she was going through the motions of being an executor and executing the people, and she saw the spirits grabbing at her because her emotions were not quite there yet, in order for it to be a clean cut and to send the spirit peacefully off to the next realm. She can sense that and feel that, not only in her mind's eye, but in her body. So that shows that she is tremendously spiritually aware of her situations. And I like this because I've only seen this from the anime's point of view. So I'm looking forward how she is going to grow and evolve. And I think she will get there to reach her goal, for her to be able to duplicate her father's sword stroke. Now we come to our main character, Gabimaru the Hollow. Now we know he is a shinobi, and he has been set up by his fellow clansmen because he wanted to take his wife away and lead a normal life. Now, why does he want to do this? He wants to do this because we found out in both episode 1 and 2 that he was taken from his family as a child and raised pretty much to be a living weapon. So he was not shown too much kindness throughout his life. It's also seen by Sagiri that individuals like this go through numerous amounts of training that would kill a lesser person in order to be able to obtain these superhuman abilities. So we can speculate that he's been through literal hell, just like in the title of the anime, and in order to attain these skills. And obtaining these skills doesn't mean he was always shown tremendous kindness. I'm sure his upbringing was very harsh, very strict, and also very disciplined in order to have him stay on the path of becoming the ultimate shinobi. Now, looking at Gabimaru, when he had his relationship with his wife, he learned kindness from her. And he also learns that he not only learns this, but he it's part of his character. He only kills when necessary, and we find that out in episode 2. But when he wants to kill and make a statement, you can see he can kill and make a statement, and you see how he killed those individuals, those other death row criminals, in a very brutal way. And the people, the proctors that were looking over the inmates, the prisoners, the criminals, saw this and commented about this, how brutal that he killed these people. He wanted to make a statement that he necessarily didn't want to do this, but if they wanted to die, he was going to send them off in the right way. But you can also see why he brutally killed these people. He was still kind of like emotionless, even though he's not hollow, like his wife said he's not hollow. You can see how he just puts his emotions aside and is able to complete the mission. You can see that he's very disciplined in order for him to complete his training. You also see that only that he had so much focus, he had focus to such a degree that he was able to fool everyone around him, with the exception of Sagiri, that he wanted to die. And he sat there and took all of the punishments, the boiling oil, being set on fire, attempted to be beheaded. Also, he was quartered, attempted to be quartered. All this was going on at the time where he subconsciously was holding on to life because he wanted to see his wife again. So he had to be very disciplined in order to pull this off subconsciously, because you see the look on his face that he was really not showing too much emotion during episode 1 when they were attempting to execute him. We also see that he has great empathy for the ones he cares about, his wife. He knew, and he stated this to Sagiri in the interview, he knew that the village chief would not allow them to leave, but out of respect, he went to them and pleaded his case and was going to make up everything else as he goes along, and to try to keep his wife away from that type of life. And he did that anyway, just because she showed him kindness and actually treated him like a human being. So it shows that he has great empathy for those who show him kindness. Now let's move on to his physical skills. We can see he has tremendous speed, and this is shown in the scene at the end of the first episode when he fought Sagiri for the first time. That when he grabbed the guard's sword, he runs by and grabs the sword. But what lets you know that the speed was quick, that after he saw the clash in between Sagiri and Gabimaru, he happened to look down and he saw that his sword was missing out of his scabbard. That shows that he has tremendous speed, that the guy didn't even notice what happened until it was too late. We also see that he has tremendous strength in episode 2. Now, he might not have a lot of strength like some of the other characters, but he has enough strength that he's able to brutally kill able-bodied individuals with just his bare hands. We also see that he has tremendous amount of endurance, having been through various types of executions, and he's able to execute those individuals in the end of episode 2 without breaking a sweat, which shows that he has a high endurance. Also, we see that he also has high pain tolerance because of all the executions that he went through. Didn't holler out once. And one other thing that I want to bring in about his character, and not just his physical abilities, we can see that just like Sagiri, that he himself, when he pays attention and he focuses, that he can be somewhat self-aware. At the end of episode 1 proves this, where he saw Sagiri's body language has changed, and he picked up on it, because remember, he was interviewed by her several times and he didn't pick up on anything, and all of a sudden he goes from just being lax around her to being on guard, so much so that he had a small premonition about him being dismembered, and this in turn sent his body into his training, and he's able to break his wooden restraints without much effort and goes into a defensive posture in order for him to defend himself and to save his own life against Sagiri, the executioner that was going to take his life. We can see that he's also aware. What I'm interested to see, like I said, I did not see the manga. I want to see, and this probably will be true, if Sagiri and Gabimaru learn from each other. Like Gabimaru learns to be more in touch with his emotions so he can in turn be a better person overall. But then Sagiri learns how to be not emotionless, but to put her emotions aside when it comes to battle so she can make clear, concise decisions, especially when it comes to execution, so she can accomplish her missions and also be seen that she's spiritually aware, that she's able to put these spirits to rest and not have her emotions be attached to her sword. So when she ends these individuals in the execution, they're able to move on with no strife. So I'm interested to see if Gabimaru and Sagiri are going to learn from each other. I think they will. I think this overall is going to be a great anime, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the anime and reading the manga. And I can't believe this got under my radar, but I was glad I was able to watch the first episodes and learn about this before I got to like episode 15 and it completely got away from me. Well, that's all I have for this video. Like, share, and subscribe if you feel like it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.